Children of Mother Earth, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I'm delighted to join all of you on this very special occasion. I want to congratulate the University Science of Malaysia for the wonderful work that they have been doing for making this issue of breastfeeding one of the important areas in their medical faculty. I want to thank Prof. Zahara particularly for being now one of the leaders of the breastfeeding movement in the initiatives that she's taking at USM. I am also very grateful to the Ministry of Health for the support that they have been giving to the work in promoting, supporting and protecting breastfeeding, and their support has been very critical for all of us in this country. For Malaysia itself, we have been actually a star in the breastfeeding movement, and a five-pointed star. We had one, you can say, the lady of breastfeeding, the legendary Cicely Williams. She was there in Terengganu, just next door to Kelantan, where she did the initial amazing work on discovering how corporate responsibility was impacting on children. And she dared, like women who speak truth to power, she dared to say, milk or murder? I think murder. That kind of courage that we had. And this is Malaysia who sprouted this wonderful, you can say, the lady of the breast feeding. Malaysia also was among the first countries to adopt a voluntary code, which I hope very much will become law to show our real commitment to this. And Malaysia was also very much the headquarters of the breastfeeding movement through the World Alliance of Breastfeeding Action and the International Code Documentation Center. And the bulk of the training of people all over the world in code implementation and in advocacy was done more in Malaysia than in anywhere else in the world. And I'm very happy to see USM particularly also becoming a champion of what will be the future, and that is capacity building. They are going particularly to online education, online seminars, and I think that will be the way for the future. Penang, Malaysia also is one of the few countries in the world to have a dedicated national lactation center. And that's also a remarkable thing the Ministry of Health has done, and I think this lactation center has all kinds of great possibilities. And one of my hope is that we can collaborate together and work together with USM and make this a wondrous new initiative called the International Breastfeeding Academy. And I'm very happy to have discussions on this matter to take Malaysia again very much forward. The fifth thing that makes us a star is that the most significant event that is celebrated all over the world in over 80 countries of the world, and even more and thousands and thousands of individuals, is World Breastfeeding Week, which we are celebrating at this present time. This originated in Malaysia and it's been done out of Malaysia now for nearly 3 decades, and this has made Malaysia the center everyone looks forward to for information in celebrating breastfeeding, in advocating breastfeeding, and in sort of protecting, presenting it in a popular way, because we cannot move forward if we don't engage the people, if we don't engage all the stakeholders, the ministries, the sort of government agencies, health professionals, women's organizations, all these civic organizations that are there, including nurses and midwives and mothers, all this galaxy, you can say, of different kinds of organizations move forward to work together in a collaborative way as you can say, stakeholders, and World Breastfeeding Week provides us with the framework where all of us can come together and all of us can do all the little things that each one of us can do in our local areas and make the difference that very often little things done by little people can do. When more and more people do them, it ends up into a wave, and then it becomes a storm, and it becomes, amazingly a world way of doing things. And this is very special about Malaysia, and we are this week celebrating the initiatives that Malaysia has taken and how much we should be proud of it. The other thing is also for us to celebrate, and very often it is forgotten. People think of breastfeeding as just something about milk and the mother, but they don't realize the deepness of what breastfeeding really is. Because it's 5 very special things, and I very often use a flower to describe it. And I think this constantly must be remembered, because if we are not ourselves aware of the subject matter, then we are not going to be able to move and engage all the different kinds of shareholders in our work. And this flower with 5 petals, just like our hibiscus flower is our national flower. The first one is so important, is medicine. The fact that breast milk is giving us medicine, and we talk in those times, so this is medicine. It gives nutrition, medicine now and nutrition, and it gives love. Love between mother and child, looking at each other's eyes, and the warmthness of the attachment, all these things is just beautiful, beautiful things that words cannot describe. And the 4th thing, of course, is ecologically, how there is no waste, no plastic, no unnecessary, destroying of land, and unnecessarily, ways of boiling water and destroying things like that, which is very often unnecessary, completely unnecessary at all the early stages, as we know, right up to, if all is possible, up to 2 years, inshallah. Then the 5th petal is again something that people don't talk about enough, how it is actually an investment. That when we have breastfeeding, you are having economic advantages. All that is provided. It's free. It's self-reliance, it's self-sufficiency. When you find now you can't go out, mothers who were bottle feeding, it also had great difficulties then, trying to collect this, collect that, and so. But the mother and the child who are breastfeeding have all the comforts together, and the self-reliance and the joy they bring to each other. So this powerful image of a flower, 5 petals, is very important for us to remember if we are going to engage people. Remind them of these 5 petals, then people become engaged in that. The 3rd thing is all of us. How do we act? We as different stakeholders, how do we act to take action, to move and make change in that? And here I take a wheel, because a wheel is about movement. A wheel is taking and moving forward, and these 5 spokes of a wheel are very important for all of us. And we want to waste the power of one. Everywhere in the world, one person can change the world, But it's Cecily Williams who started a major breakthrough. You talk peace, and Mahatma Gandhi and Mandela, in South Africa, individuals who stand up for the truth to power. And so one person can make great changes, and if every one of us does it, then we have the power of many. People getting together, forming our networks and organizations together, where we share and we show solidarity, and together then we show the power that we have on what is necessary in this world. And the 3rd thing is now the power of information. And information is now, with digital possibilities, one of the greatest sources for us to share all the correct information, and also to reach people now. The multimedia way, the onlining way, all those kinds of things now are possible. You can reach anyone, anywhere, anytime now in the world, and we have that power now in information. And I'm very, very happy that USM is beginning to have online online training programs that are there, and we hope more and more of these kinds of things will continue. And the fourth thing is the fact that what I call the power of the halo, the fact that there are international instruments, UN guidelines, WHO programs, and all these things about health and so on should become also part of the power that we have. Quote them and say, this is what the world has decided. This is what the UN has decided. And look also at our own spiritualities. Look at every religion. Look at the Quran and how it talks about the mother and the child and breastfeeding. You take other religions, all of them talk about the relationship to mother and child and how important this is. And the fifth power is very important, and that's what Breastfeeding Week is also about. And that's the power of success. All the movements, advocacy, whatever you do, if we don't celebrate, people forget. And people come up and say, very hard to do. Don't say very hard to do. People all over the world are already doing it, and they're doing it well. And World Breastfeeding Week is that celebration where thousands and thousands of people are sharing this. You can see the little pictures here. All these were mothers who sewed these things as part of a global program during breastfeeding, and they send them to us in WABA for us to share. And these were really amazing ways by which we celebrated. So song and color and art and all those things should be part, and the breastfeeding movement must be also a movement of joy, of happiness, and if we do that, then we find we have the smile of the mother, and we have the smile of the child, and we have the smile of all the professionals and people who go together. And together then we can make the world a better place. We can take up the challenges, we can introduce the innovations. And I look forward to working with all of you in this particular journey in making breastfeeding the future of the children. Thank you.